Hi everyone, Sandman here. Before I begin this video, I have a quick message. So from now on, I'm only going to be using my own photos and video footage for the videos that I do in YouTube, and not those that are found in public domain. Apparently, since none of my videos are being flagged for copyright issues, the only way to mess with me is to demonetize my videos for issues surrounding commercial rights. If I show you a 200-year-old painting of Sir Isaac Newton, I have to be able to come up with the commercial rights to use that painting. And how am I supposed to get commercial rights from a painter that's been dead for over 200 years? So I'm only going to start posting my own photos and video until YouTube starts requesting that I start sending them model release forms. Next thing you know, I might even have to start sending raw files or negatives for inspection. Today you get to see some pictures from a fashion show I did a while back. Anyways, now for my topic. Virtual male harems. A couple of days ago I did a video on women in Egypt. What I wanted to touch upon was the idea that in some Muslim or Islamic countries it is still popular for men to have more than one wife. But in the modern Western world, the idea of polygamy is generally not accepted. But from what I observe in society today, there seems to be a phenomenon that I see that I can only describe as the virtual male harem. In the last 2 years, I've met at least 3 young women in their 20s that use men in ways that are detrimental to those particular men's self-esteem. I'm increasingly seeing a situation where one woman can often lead on half a dozen men at the same time while appearing not to have any relationships. It's almost as if women are trying to be like the sun, with many guys orbiting them like planets and feeding them attention. Each one of these guys could easily fall into the category of being a pussy beggar, and they often think that on some level that she'll decide to make them their boyfriend. But more often than not, from what I see, that's not the case. When women put a man into the friend zone, it's usually impossibly hard for him to get out of it. Many of us men in our 30s and 40s understand that, but men in their 20s may not have been in the friend zone with enough women to know that it's a type of purgatory for single men. But women know that men are gullible and willing to do what a woman wants, with only the slightest chance for action. I'm seeing more women intentionally put 3 or 4 guys or more into the friend zone while purposely leading them on. And many men seem gullible enough to fall for it. It's almost as if women are compartmentalizing their relations with men. Perhaps they have a gay male friend to go shopping with, and a beta male to spend time on the phone with so that she can have her emotional release valve, and yet another guy is a bad boy thug to have sex with, and a sugar daddy she will randomly date so that he can take her out and pay for her night. I could never figure out why these types of females don't settle down with just one guy and try to find someone with all the qualities they want, instead of a bunch of guys that all seem to have different pieces of a puzzle. This is how I define a modern male harem, or band of men, that women keep company with. These social interactions are usually virtual male harems using modern technology. These particular males never see each other, and a woman's interaction with each man tends to be compartmentalized. Each man is reduced to serve the function of a utility with regards to one or more aspects of her life. Thanks to the miracle of modern technology, most of these men don't even know about each other, and many women's phones have become sacred places that are really altars to polyandry. For those of you unfamiliar with polyandry, I'm referring to the idea that a woman can take more than one husband or partner. Traditionally, harems were private quarters in a house where a man kept multiple wives that were often secret and locked up spaces, courtyards, villas, and other such places. Today, a harem could be a secret list of partners a woman keeps on her phone. On the flip side, yes, men also use cell phones, computers, and dating sites to cheat on women and keep multiple partners. But if a young woman has a number of different guys that do different things for her and come to her side like puppy dogs, then she's effectively in a relationship with all of them. It's my opinion that women do not receive the same type of satisfaction from sex that men do. So if a woman is friends with many different guys and gets different aspects of her personal life fulfilled by each one of these guys, it's my opinion that she is playing men, just like a male pickup artist is playing women for sex. Society doesn't generally view this type of behavior as cheating. We simply tell ourselves there's a woman that has a lot of male friends. But from my perspective, it's cheating because a woman is connected to many men simultaneously. When people refer to emotional affairs, this is also what I'm talking about. I've met many women that are in relationships, but are not getting everything they need from their partner, so they use other men to talk to when they want to vent or have someone to listen to them. You're probably saying to yourself, there's no harm in doing that. But in reality, it's not fair to their partner, and it's not fair to the second, third, or fourth, etc. man involved, especially if that man is single and has feelings for that person. And women would rather vent to men because if she complained to one of her girlfriends, she would most likely have to hear her girlfriend complain back to her as well. It's advantageous for a woman to have a good beta male listener in her virtual male harem. There is also the bad boy. This guy can be a dumb lug that she uses for sex and nothing more. Or perhaps he is a well-paid lug that she uses as a sugar daddy as well. A woman's harem is there to fulfill different needs. If a woman can't find everything she's looking for in one particular male, why does she have to settle? If she gets 3 out of 4 qualities from one man and only needs one more to gain complete fulfillment, then she'll find a man that fills that last role and have everything that she desires. On the flip side, there is the danger of codependency. If we get everything we need from our relationships from just one partner and rely too heavily on that one person, then that closes us off from the outside world, and that goes for both men and women. It's important to have friends that are the same gender as you, so that you have the option of getting personal fulfillment from conversations from friends outside of your lover. When I was in a relationship in my early 20s, I became codependent, and in an obsessive form of love, and it wasn't good for my social life, family life, and emotional well-being. What I think I want MGTOWs out there to understand is that just because you're not in a sexual relationship or dating a woman, you have to be aware that if a woman talks to you, she might be looking for someone to vent about her work, her boyfriend, or family life and situation. If you just stand there and listen to her, you're essentially enabling her not to continue talking to her partner and not to make a genuine effort in her primary relationship. As a MGTOW, I give all women the cold shoulder and keep things professional with the ones that I work with, and I don't give them the satisfaction of dumping their emotional junk onto me. I just make an excuse and leave or hang up or simply stop messaging. I ignore them long enough so that they will back off and latch onto another man that will listen to them and give them their attention. I often find women in their mid-20s that want to be my friend and pretend to be all interested in me and learn all about me just so that I might have the chance to spend some money on them. They want me in their friend zone so they can take advantage of me. Meanwhile, they have a young guy that's closer to their age that they jump into bed with. I ended up cutting myself off from these types of women about 3 months ago, and it feels great. Through my actions and observations, I am now aware that I'm no longer going to be a member of any woman's virtual male harem. What women don't understand is the long-term damage to a woman's emotional state of well-being if she is constantly swapping out the men in her life for other men. She may have trouble settling down and giving her attention and energy to only one male. If she gets into the habit of looking at men as nothing more than utilities, then that's all men will ever be to her, even the ones that she doesn't want to be in a physical relationship with. Once a woman gets past 30 to 35 and then wants to settle down with only one man and have a family with him, she has already done irreparable damage to her psychology. Chris Rock has a comedy routine where he says that men never date down in terms of looks. I know he's generalizing, but men try to date upwards when it comes to the looks of their partners. And he also goes on to say that women never date downward when it comes to guys that have money or are providers. By having one rich male friend in her virtual male harem, all other guys will most likely need to measure up to his particular standard. And that rich guy might have 3 or 4 women that he hangs around with and creates a sense of entitlement for each of them. It's the men that spoil women with gifts and attention that create an entitlement culture in many women. In sifting through thousands of women to find a handful of ones that have not been damaged by the culture of entitlement is the main reason I'm a MGTOW. Why spend my life searching for someone that might not exist, instead of working on my own personal and spiritual growth? I've learned to love myself and value my own self-esteem. And in my experience, women have destroyed my self-esteem far more than they have helped me grow. Enough of my ranting for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.